picture profiles or picture controls depending on which make of camera you use. Should you use them? Should you not use them? Should you only use them if you're shooting in JPEG, or could you still use them to help your photography if you're shooting RAW? The answer is next. Now, most people who shoot in JPEG would be using picture profiles or picture controls. I'll call them picture profiles because on my Nikon Z6II, that is what they're called. It's a profile that the camera attaches to the photo that you take. You could set it to vivid, you could set it to neutral, you could set it to landscape if you're photographing a landscape, or if you're photographing people, you could set it to portrait. It gives you that feel. Portrait makes it less contrasty, makes your photo of a person you're photographing look much softer than just straight out of the camera in neutral format. So, should you be using them? Is there an advantage of using them? Also, is there an advantage of using them if you're shooting in RAW? Now, I know I'm going to get people in the comments saying, well, if you're shooting in RAW, you can do all that in Adobe Lightroom or your editing program, because a RAW file is exactly that. It's RAW. You can manipulate the image as you like it. But did you know that there is an advantage of using the picture profiles when you're photographing? I use them. Why do I use them? Because it gives me an idea of what the final image is going to look like. Every photo that I take is slightly different. I could go out one time at sunset and go like, I would really like this image to be subtle. So I will choose a neutral profile, and on the rear LCD screen on my camera, it will show me what the image will look like. I shoot in RAW, but on my LCD screen here, I'm seeing a JPEG thumbnail of the image edited as a JPEG with the neutral picture profile. But for an example, if I'm taking photos of my daughter, I'll say, okay, well, I'll set it in portrait because I want that soft feel. I don't want like a vivid face, really strong highlights and all that. I wanted it muted down. Let me quickly show you now just the standard profiles. Then I will show you a feature on some of these modern cameras that you may never have realized that they are on there. Now, as a reference, the photo on the left is an auto profile, and then the photo of the right shows you what the picture profile looks like. Photo on the left here is auto, photo on the right is standard. Then we have neutral, we have vivid, you have monochrome, you have portrait. Can you see how portrait is just slightly softer than vivid? Then we have landscape, and we have flat. I've got to thank my good mate Trevor the Heron here, because he was kind enough to pose for all these photos. I've had Trevor here for a long time, about 15 years. He doesn't mind being in some of my videos, so we have to give a big shout out to Trevor. So this is a RAW file in Adobe Lightroom. You wouldn't guess what profile it is, would you? It looks like just any other photo you take, but this photo was shot in monochrome. It should be black and white, but it comes into Lightroom as a color image because that's how the sensor takes. If I was shooting JPEG and RAW, which I did for this exercise, the JPEG would be in monochrome. The RAW file though will look color. But here is the beauty of using a picture profile. I can go up here in the develop mode and I can choose profile up here. See, camera neutral. I can come down here and say, I want camera monochrome. This is what my JPEG would look like. Can you see the benefit? I could go in to the presets on the left here and choose one of the black and white or one of the monochrome presets. But why should I? I shot it in monochrome. I like the way it looked like on the camera, so I can just go up to my camera profile here and choose camera monochrome. That is the same photo that I shot as a JPEG. So you can see that using a profile does benefit you. Now, we all know that these are the standard profiles. If I go into my Nikon Z6II and I go into the menu and I select set picture control, I have here auto, standard, neutral, vivid. I've got all the standard ones. But did you know that on a lot of the newer cameras, especially my Z6II. And it's something I only found out recently just by learning more about my camera. And this is what a lot of people don't do. They just say, okay, well, these are the functions I like. They don't dig in. They don't look further than just what they like. On the Z6II, I have 20 artistic profiles that I can use. I want to show you the 20 picture profiles that the Z6II, that the Z7, the Z5, and I'm pretty sure the other Z cameras also have, to give you that feel that you want. Because as photographers, sometimes we like to be artistic. We want our photos to be different. And these profiles help you to be different. The left is a reference photo. For the artistic profiles, the base profile is neutral. And all the others are shown on the right. And you will see how some of these are just way out of the box, but could make a particular shot that you're going to take, bang, and people are like, wow, that looks so good. And there was no editing involved. First one is dream. Then we have morning, pop, Sunday, somber, drama. Look at silence. It's just so flat. It's a monochrome, black and white, but it's just so flat. Bleached, melancholic, pure. Denim has got that sort of purple feel to it. Toy, sepia. You want that old look on your photos. Blue, red, pink, charcoal, graphite, binary, carbon. Some people go and buy all these presets without realizing that a lot of time, everything that you need is on your camera. I chose 3 different subjects to show you how some of these artistic profiles and some of the standard profiles look like depending on what your subject is. Trevor the Heron helped me, Mr. Santa Claus here helped me, and I grabbed a small succulent from outside in my wife's garden to show you how they would look like when we're using these profiles, whether they be the standard profiles or the artistic profiles. So we have neutral here. Look at it. Everything looks plain Jane. Then we have vivid, bit more contrasty, bit more colorful, monochrome, just very flat. Portrait looks pretty nice. But look at pop, especially the succulent on the far right there. That looks so nice. Then we have drama, denim, sepia, charcoal. Look at graphite. Look at the difference between Trevor the Heron and Mr. Santa Claus here. They're so different. So you can see that profiles help you get a feel for your photos. When I used to do photography workshops, especially basic photography workshops, I would advise people saying, you're an individual. You've got to make yourself stand out. And this is what my channel is all about, to teach you how to be a better photographer. And how do you become a better photographer? By making your photos stand out. Become an individual. Don't follow the crowd. If you want, you don't have to use profiles. You could be going into Lightroom and editing for your own feel. What I'm saying is, if you're using a picture profile for your photos, it's going to give you a leg up. It's going to make your editing less. Now, I showed you what the profiles look like in Adobe Lightroom just for the standard profiles, but let's quickly jump in and I'll show you how easy it is to choose the other profiles. So this photo that you see here, this is the raw file. The profile was set to binary. Remember, binary is just black and white. It is very harsh, but it's color. I go down to the camera profiles here and you can see we've just got the standard ones here, but then we click browse. And now here we go. I'll close this one up here. See, we've got Adobe RAW. Then we have camera matching. We have 31 profiles. And I come down here, all the way down the bottom here, and I just look through it. See, they're all there. I just choose the one that I want. Keep scrolling through. I want binary. There it is. Look at it. There's binary. On the left is our RAW file. On the right, all I've done is set the picture profile in Adobe Lightroom to camera binary. This is what it comes out to. And I can say, okay, well, that's what I want. I don't have to do any editing. I like it like that. I just go print. I can print AO. That's the only difference between shooting a JPEG and shooting in RAW. The RAW file will be much bigger. So I hope this has shown you a bit more about how to get the maximum from your camera, whether you're shooting a Nikon, whether you're shooting a Canon, whether you're shooting a Sony, that picture profiles can make your photos and can help you as a photographer become artistic and become an individual. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps me out. I've just hit 7,000 subscribers. Really like to get to 10,000 by the time I'm 61 in September. So do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.